All righty. Welcome to the Harpswell Select Board meeting of Thursday, January 15th, 2026. We'll start with Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. For those at home, you can sign on to the agenda on how to get through on Zoom. Adoption of the agenda. Any additions?
No?
No. Public comment?
I will, but when you get to
The appropriate time.
All righty. Select Board announcements?
Nothing from me. Woodpile's looking pretty good out there.
Yeah.
Must have brought some more on Wednesday.
Well, I looked Saturday, I would, but it was full.
Yeah,
Friday night.
yeah.
Town Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have one item tonight. The town clerk wanted me to remind the public that people need to license their dogs before the end of this month, or then there is an additional late fee that is charged. So all dog owners in Harpswell, please register your dog before the end of this month. Thank you.
All right. Approve our March 14th ballot and set public hearing for February 10th at 6 PM.
Yeah, so a couple of things. The board voted to send some articles to the town meeting as referendum articles, and so we are presenting you those articles tonight. One was for the appropriation to Curtis Memorial Library, and the other is for the town to authorize the select board to enter into an agreement for the town to manage state property at Clark Cove. And it also would allow the town to raise and appropriate $5,000 for related improvements and authorize the town to apply for grants related to, ensuring that we meet the terms of the agreement.
Is it the strict terms of the agreement? I mean, is it as that,
It's,
as
the
it was
town
proposed?
has, no, not as proposed. We
Okay.
have some ability to modify that
Tone
agreement.
it down a little?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Are you voting on that tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're voting on the language. We've already voted to put it to a public hearing, to a ballot vote.
Okay. Can I, is
Yep.
this the appropriate time?
As soon as you make a motion to accept it, then we'll open up the public hearing.
Well, as long as we can, we're voting on what this is, but we can modify it.
Absolutely.
The select board can modify it
Yes.
afterward. Okay, yeah, I move
When
that
you,
we-
when you say modify, are you talking about the agreement itself?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yeah, the agreement is
Okay,
not cast
okay,
in stone.
In that case, I will move that we put these on the ballot.
I'll second it.
All right. Any comments on this?
Thanks, Kevin. Ronnie Weston, Harpswell Neck. So I was not at the last meeting where you voted to put it on secret ballot. What was the discussion? What was the rationale?
Well, the rationale, a lot of items come up like this. More people get to vote on this if you leave it on the ballot. A lot of people come in and vote and leave, and as you well know, not that many people stay for the whole 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is. So there's a better chance, for your side to get the voters out. If they don't want to be there all day to vote on it, it's just a better opportunity. I always thought any of the bigger issues that have been debated, they're better off to have more people get to vote.
Is there a town policy about how you decide?
No?
Well, yes, there is,
Yes.
yeah,
Well-
but it's pretty flexible.
As far as
The point is that there will be a public hearing first.
Right.
I mean, rather than debate it on the floor of town meeting, there'll be a debate in a previous public hearing.
That's what I read in the statute. So why make people come out for a public hearing when you've got the forum of town meeting, which is what people are used to? I don't understand the rationale.
Well, it's as Kevin says, more people vote secret ballot than on the floor of town meeting. And we often look at, one of the things that we look at in the criteria is contentious issues that might take a long time to debate, we'll put those separate so that it's not taking up a lot of time on floor town meeting. And we're sort of suspecting this might be one of those issues.
Okay. Well, with your permission, I'm going to read something that hopefully will appear in the Anchor this month. And even though you have voted to put it on secret ballot, I think that is a bad decision. So Harpswell has long prided itself on a form of local government that values open discussion, neighbor-to-neighbor accountability, and careful consideration of complex issues. That is why the proposal to move the Clark Cove warrant article to a secret ballot raises serious concern. This is not a simple yes or no question. It involves operational decisions, parking, signage, trail placement, safety, wildlife impacts, and long-term management responsibilities. The cost of that work, both executing and maintaining, has not been ascertained. Therefore, committing the town to all or a part of this work deserves thorough public scrutiny. These are precisely the kinds of details that benefit from the give and take of town meeting. That's what we were founded on in New England. Where residents can ask questions, hear responses in real time, and collectively weigh trade-offs before a vote is taken. While secret ballots are definitely appropriate and an important tool in many circumstances, they fundamentally change how decisions are made. A secret ballot asks somebody to vote alone without hearing all the facts. So let's say they did not go to the public hearing. They don't have the benefit of hearing those facts. Even then, genuine dialogue is limited. The result may be a clear tally. Okay, we got more people to vote by secret ballot, but you haven't heard the issues, and you did not understand why people voted a certain way, and you could be addressing unresolved concerns moving forward. Some have suggested that a secret ballot ensures broader participation. Participation matters, but so does deliberation. This town's strength has always been its willingness to wrestle with difficult questions in public, not to move them out of the public because they are contentious. Moving a proposal of this complexity to a secret ballot risks setting an unfortunate precedent that the more detailed, uncertain, or divisive an issue becomes, the less we discuss it together. Clark Cove deserves a full open town meeting conversation, one grounded in transparency, complete information, and shared accountability. So that's my position. It has nothing to do with whether one side or other feels that Clark Cove development should happen. Nothing to do with it. It has to do with the culture of this town, and you're not honoring it.
Well, I agree with you 100%, and that's why 40 years ago I started community television, and so that we could all talk and get information out. Today is also the internet, so we will be certainly recording and broadcasting the public hearing. So as many people, and broadcasting over the air, on cable, and on the internet, so as many people as possible can know what this discussion was.
So let them do it at town meeting.
Well, hopefully people will turn out to debate it at the public hearing.
Why would they? Well, you're asking them to come out twice.
Well, you'll be there, I'm assuming. Anyone who has an interest in it and wants to have a voice will be there,
Well,
definitely.
that's the hard part, David, is that everyone has an interest in it, whether they know they do or not. And they
Correct.
won't know that unless they are told and hear their neighbors talk about it. And they won't necessarily do that if they just come to the public hearing.
Well, 2 articles could be published in the Anchor also, along with your letter. You know, the language, you know, that will be on the warrant.
Again, what happened to the forum that this town and most New England towns came up with? It came up with it for a reason, not to put things secret. Came up with it to have open, honest discussion.
We've had that here. You folks have shown up on a couple of different occasions, and
Kevin, it's not about me or them. It is about how you run this town, and 3 people and 2 people decided to move it forward. David, you abstained, and then you were able somehow to go and vote for it to be on secret ballot. That's inconsistent.
Well,
You
no.
either can or can't vote.
Once the decision is made that we're going to vote on it, then I can participate on how we're going to vote on it. The other point is, for secret ballot, is that it's a decision that you make without looking around the room to see who's watching and how other people are voting. It's
That's
not
exactly why we need it.
the heat of the moment, voting is not necessarily accurate. So I don't know, a lot goes into making that decision.
But you didn't make it on anything other than participation. I watched the YouTube video of it. You had about a minute and a half of conversation of why it should go on the ballot. And there was no
I made
rationale.
that decision because, I mean, out of all the issues that we're going to vote on in March, this is the issue that we've already discussed the most by far up until this point. So there's been plenty of discussion in my mind about this issue, and we're going to have another public hearing again before. So this has been discussed in depth up until this point. So the information is certainly out there if somebody wants to get it. But you, as the saying goes, you can only lead a horse to water. You know, like, the information is there, but you can't force feed it to people. They have to be willing to go and get it themselves, too. And that doesn't mean that having it discussed on the floor, you're only going to have the couple hundred people that are willing to sit there for this item to come up on the floor versus the multiple public hearings that we've had on it, where there's far more opportunity for more than a couple hundred people to show up, where we've had three. It will be three when we hold the next one at this point. So I think it's been discussed more than anything, was my reasoning for putting it on the secret ballot.
Duly noted. Is the public hearing whether to have it on the secret ballot, or what is the purpose of the public hearing?
It's to replace the discussion on the floor of town meeting. We don't vote on things without a discussion first, and that's what that's for. So it'll be a debate, a discussion with people on the floor, just like town meeting, only previous to the secret ballot vote, instead of that same day.
Okay, again, makes no sense to me. If you're already going to discuss it in a public venue, why not discuss it at the venue that you select for town meetings? It makes no sense.
Well,
It does to us.
I haven't heard why.
can we give her the criteria for, do we have it handy?
The policy is on our
Policy.
website.
Yeah, I've seen it. And
Okay.
if you, how many things do you check on that?
All of them.
No, you don't.
We do. We look at all of it. I mean.
No, but you don't get an affirmative on every single one of them. so-
We go by the weight, I guess, you know, which one is the more.
Okay.
Yeah. There'll be 1,500 people voting on this instead of 150 or 200, everyone shows up.
How do you know that?
Because that's about the average town meeting, is probably around 1,500 people vote, and there's only maybe 150 that actually
So-
stay for the whole meeting.
So they vote without the facts, is
The
essentially
facts
what
are out
you're
there.
saying.
You know, we can argue this all night long. It's gonna be a ballot item.
We'll do our best to get all the facts out.
Anyway,
I have a question.
yeah.
Edward Morvick, Moore Shore Road. If, after the meeting in February, the ballots will be open, you can pick up a ballot and you can start voting at that point in time, up to 30 days, I think they said in the, prior to the March meeting.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
It will be a few days after the public hearing that ballots will open up, won't it?
They're available about 30 days before
Yep.
the town meeting. So that would be, the
Like-
town meeting's March 14th.
So
We're
it'd be
talking
like the
February 14th-ish.
Yeah.
That's a weekend.
So if somebody doesn't, as Ronnie was saying, if somebody doesn't come to the meeting on the 14th, ballots are available and they can vote without really having information that would be normally discussed at the open meeting or in a regular March town meeting. There'd be, ballots are available, but they wouldn't have, they have to, if they haven't been informed previously by other meetings, the only opportunity they have to get informed is basically go to the February 10th meeting.
Yeah, however, that will be videotaped, and it will be available on YouTube TV, and a lot of the other information from prior meetings is available to people.
Okay?
The press has covered the issue.
I can't imagine that someone would go and vote on this without having heard at least a good portion of the debate somewhere, somehow.
Depends
I
on which
can't
side
imagine
of
that.
Harpswell you live on, I think.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, thank you.
Thanks. All right. All in favor?
Was the hearing set for the 10th?
Well, let's discuss that. I don't think that was part of the
Separately, yeah.
motion.
It wasn't.
So,
That was just to approve that.
That's right.
we do know
You're
that.
not here?
Yeah, I was gonna see if we could just do the 11th, or Christie said she
Okay,
had an alternate.
so do you want to suggest the 11th, subject to the school availability? I
Yeah.
know it's available on the 17th,
The 17th would be fine as well, either,
but if
whatever
you
works
prefer the
best for-
11th,
Yeah.
is
I'm-
the-
How about
I'm
if you-
not worried.
how about if you select the 11th, subject to school availability, and if it's not available, go to the 17th?
That's fine.
Does that work?
Yep.
Is that all right with you, David?
And that would
Yep.
be 6 PM, Harpswell Island School.
All right, we good?
That's a good one.
So it's wait a minute, the 11th is a Wednesday, and the 17th is a Tuesday, is that?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Well, I want to get them to vote on this first. Did you move and?
Do we need
second?
I'll make a motion that we hold the hearing on the 11th at 6 PM, unless school's not available, then the 17th at 6 PM.
I like it, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Thank you. And with the referendums, we put the recommendation of the select board. So I think you each need to let us know if you support the Curtis Library article and if you support the Clark Cove article.
Yes and no.
Okay, so you support Curtis Library,
Yep.
but not Clark Cove?
Correct.
Okay. And
I'm no and yes.
you're a no on library?
No
And
on
yes
library.
on Clark Cove, okay.
I'm actually yes and no.
You're yes on the library,
Yep.
and you're no on Clark Cove?
Yep.
That's interesting.
I've never had a feeling about it really one way or the other.
Huh.
But I wanted to go to town vote. I didn't want the select board to make that decision. It should be a
Yeah.
town thing.
All right, thank you.
How I feel, it's got nothing to do with how I think the law should be handled. Right, we good?
Yep, we're good
All
with
right.
that, thank you.
Shellfish lottery dates?
The town clerk is making a recommendation for March 31st at 5 PM. I would like the board to support that recommendation.
I so move.
Aye, so second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
That was simple.
All right, 2025 carryover list.
So you have the list before you. The only thing that may change on this is Wyman and Simpson is working on their bill for the month of December, and it really should come out of the 2025. Even though all of our funds carry over for that dedicated project, really should be part of the fixed assets for 2025 and part of our expenses for 2025. So everything is
Where do you want it and how much?
completed. If you would consider, if you have any questions, first of all, about any of the categories, here to answer any questions. And then the Mitchell Field Capital, if you so decide to approve this list, if you could make the Mitchell Field Capital subject to less an additional bill from Wyman and Simpson, which I'm expecting by tomorrow.
How much do you think? what, approximately?
I certainly will send you an email with the final billing,
Okay.
but the difference is expending it in 2025 versus 2026.
We're still going to
That-
spend it, I'm just.
Still going to have that grand total.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Quick question, what's the Harpswell home repairs?
So that's interesting. Many years ago, the town obtained a I'm going off of memory, $63,000 grant for Harpswell Home Repairs Team. And,
Is that the one through HA, or is it separate?
well, it is through HA. The town received the grant, though, and the town
Okay.
administered that grant, took the applications, provided the information to HA Home Repairs, and they did the repairs. At the time, the grant would not allow one home to have greater than $5,000 in repairs per home, and so the town at the time had appropriated $5,000 to be some additional available funds if there was a home that needed to go above 5,000. So then 4,900 would be assessed to the grant, and 500 would be assessed to the town of Harpswell's. They didn't mind if it was allowed to go over that amount, but you couldn't request reimbursement for greater than 5,000 from the county. And so $5,000 was appropriated. They used approximately $1,500 of that. And we discussed whether we should still carry it over, but we need to have a conversation with HA. So we would like it carried over this year, and we'll have
Yeah.
a continuing
That's
conversation.
what I thought it was, I was just looking to make sure I was on the right track.
I can't imagine they'd refuse it, but it can only be used for home repairs. I have a question on the map 42, lot 6. Kevin, what's the latest on that, right out here?
The Aldridge.
I haven't talked to Jake in a year, but I'll give him another try. The Marguerite Kelly Land Trust.
Yeah. I mean,
Matt, for your understanding, there's a lot across
Yeah.
the road here that the town has half an interest in, and
Yeah.
a property owner has half an interest in, and Kevin has
remember
been
hearing about
speaking
it.
with them about selling.
He won't budge.
I know, I've heard.
I mean, I guess I've looked this over, and I don't really have any problems with any of it. So, I guess I'd move that we carry these over.
I'll second it.
No discussion, all in favor?
And just for your information, there's obviously more funding than like what shows in the heating assistance. So
I
the
hope so.
heating assistance funds have been comprised of some ARPA funding, town appropriations. So we always make sure that the select board takes a vote on what you carry over there. But anybody can make a dedicated donation, and the select board does not need to vote on that because that is per their dedicated donation. So, we have an additional $38,592 carrying over in heat.
Yeah. And,
So
and-
dedicated revenues, they automatically carry over.
And we haven't heard from Cooks yet. Probably the next meeting.
Be more than that, then.
What's that?
There'll be a lot more than that.
Yeah, it will be. I think they did pretty well this year. All right, anything else?
No?
No business, old business? All right, in that case, we're adjourned.